Hello again and hope that you are all doing well. In this video we are going to talk about imperatives and questions in indirect speech. Before starting with our new lesson, let's have a quick review for the important rules in the previous one. We use the indirect reported speech when we are telling someone what another person said or thought, but do not use their exact words. Mark said that he wanted to live in London. Quotation marks are not used in reported speech. Verb tenses, pronouns, and some time and place words may change because the time, place, and speaker may be different. Verb tense changes: present simple to simple past, past simple to past perfect, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past perfect. Place changes: here is a change to there, this place is a change to that place. Now is a change to then, today or tonight is a change to that day or that night. This morning is a change to that morning, yesterday is a change to the day before, tomorrow is a change to the following day, last month is a change to the month before. Objectives of our lesson are: identify form and usage of indirect imperatives, identify form and usage of indirect yes-no questions and WH questions.
My mom asked what kind of cake you liked. She asked who I had eaten lunch with. She wanted to know when we would be home. She asked if I was cold. She asked whether I had taken a jacket. She told us to do our homework. She told us not to make a mess.
Imperatives in indirect speech. Write your homework, his mother said to him. In this sentence, the mother is asking her son to perform an action which is writing his homework. The sentence starts with the base form of the verb write, and this is an imperative sentence. His mother said, "Don't make a mess." In this sentence, the mother ordered her son not to do a certain action which is making the mess. The sentence starts with the auxiliary do, the negative not, plus the base form of the verb make, and this is a negative imperative sentence. How to write imperatives in indirect speech. We have the same example again. Write your homework, his mother said to him. This is a direct speech. In the indirect speech form, the sentence will be, his mother asked him to write his homework. His mother is the subject, asked is the reporting verb. Here notice that we used asked instead of said to show request. His mother asked who? Him, object of the reporting verb. What did his mother ask him? To write his homework. We use the infinitive to plus the base form of the verb write. Another example. His mother said, "Don't make a mess." And as mentioned previously, this is a negative imperative sentence. In the indirect speech form, the sentence is, his mother ordered him not to make a mess. His mother, subject, ordered is the reporting verb. and we use it to show comment. Him is the object of the reporting verb, and since this is a negative sentence, we add not plus infinitive to and the base form of the verb make. So, we write imperatives in indirect speech by using the infinitive to plus base form of the verb or the negative infinitive not plus base form of the verb. More examples about imperatives in indirect speech. Imperatives can be commands. She said, lie down. She asked her to lie down. We use the reporting verb asked to show command. Her is the object of the reporting verb. To lie infinitive plus base form. Instructions. The manager said to the employee, come early. The manager directed the employee to come early. We use the reporting verb directed to show instructions. The employee is the object of the reporting verb, and we have the infinitive to plus base form come. Requests. Her father said, please don't set the alarm. His father asked her not to set the alarm. We use the reporting verb asked to show requests. Her is the object of the reporting verb. Since this sentence is a negative sentence, we add not plus infinitive to and the base form set. Invitations. Our neighbors said, could you join us for dinner? Our neighbors invited us to join them for dinner. The reporting verb invited show invitations. Us is the object of the reporting verb, and we add to plus join. Complete the sentences to have indirect imperatives. Stop the video, write your answers, and then check for the correct ones. Questions in indirect speech. We have yes/no questions and WH questions. We use reported questions to tell people what someone asked. A reported question isn't like a real question. We don't expect an answer. Let's start with yes/no questions. In indirect yes/no questions, we add whether or if. Let's have a look at these examples. Are you cold? She asked. She asked me if I was cold. In the indirect speech form, we add the reporting verb asked. We add me as the object of the reporting verb. We add if. The subject you is changed to I. The simple present verb are is changed to was. Another example. Do you take a jacket? She asked. She asked me whether I took a jacket. Also in the indirect speech form, we add the reporting verb asked, me as the object of the reporting verb, whether, and the subject you is changed to I. The simple present tense verb take is changed to took. Here notice that in indirect speech form, we drop the auxiliary do. We use auxiliaries do, did, or does to identify the tense of the verb. Here do shows the simple present tense, so the verb in the indirect speech is changed to the simple past tense. Also notice that in yes/no questions in indirect speech, we had a statement word order. Here are more examples of yes/no questions in indirect speech. He asked, do you have any experience? He asked me if I had any experience. We have reporting verb asked, me object of reporting verb. We add if. The auxiliary do shows us that the verb have is in the simple present tense. Then it should change to the simple past tense in the indirect speech, had. And after if, we have a statement word order, subject plus verb, I had. She asked, will Fatima stay for a year? She asked me whether Fatima would stay for a year. We have reporting verb asked, me, object of reporting verb, we add whether, and the auxiliary will is changed to the simple past tense, would. After the word whether, we have a statement word order, subject plus verb. They asked, did the students use the computer? They asked her if the students had used the computer. We have asked, reporting verb, her, object of the reporting verb, we add if, and the auxiliary did shows us that the verb use is in the simple past tense. Then the simple past tense is changed to the past perfect tense, had used, and after if we have a subject plus verb. A sum up for yes-no questions in indirect speech. In indirect yes-no questions, we add a reporting verb, asked, plus the object of this reporting verb. Also, we add whether or if. We drop auxiliaries do, does, did, and use them to identify the tense of the verb, so we can change it in the indirect speech. When we report a yes-no question, we write the indirect form in a statement word order, subject plus verb. Now, how to report WH questions in indirect speech. We have the following example. His mom said, what kind of cake does Moby like? His mom asked him what kind of cake Moby liked. In the indirect speech form, we added asked, reporting verb, him, object of reporting verb, what kind, WH question word, and this is the same one used in the direct speech, Moby, subject, liked verb. From this example, we can notice that while changing WH questions to indirect form, we have common rules as when changing yes-no questions. To clarify this, the auxiliary does is dropped in the indirect speech, and we use it to identify the tense of the verb, like, which is in the simple present tense, and when changed to the indirect speech, it was in the simple past tense, liked. Also, we have statement word order, subject plus verb. She said, when will you be home? His mom asked him when he would be home. In the indirect speech form, we added asked, reporting verb, him, object of reporting verb, when, WH question word, after when, we added the subject he. In the direct speech, we have the present auxiliary will plus be, and this is changed to past auxiliary would be in the indirect speech form. After when, we have a statement word order, subject plus verb. He said, where has she lost her ring? He asked him where she had lost her ring. In the indirect speech form, we added asked, reporting verb, him, object of reporting verb, where, WH question word, after where we added the subject she, and the present perfect tense in the direct speech, has lost, is changed to the past perfect tense, had lost in the indirect speech. After where we have a statement word order, subject plus verb. They said, why are the trees falling? They asked her why the trees were falling. In the indirect speech form, we added asked, reporting verb, her, object of reporting verb, WH question word why. After why, we added the subject, the trees, and the present continuous verb in the direct speech is changed to the past continuous tense in the indirect speech. She said, who did you eat lunch with? His mom asked him who he had eaten lunch with. In the indirect speech form, we added asked, reporting verb, him, object of reporting verb, who, WH question word, after who we added the subject he. In the direct speech form, the auxiliary did shows us that the verb eat is in the simple past tense. Then, eat is changed to past perfect, had eaten, in the indirect speech form. After who, we have a statement word order, subject plus verb. Here notice that who in this sentence is used to ask about the object of the verb, so we switch the subject and the verb. He asked who is there. In this sentence, the WH question word who is used to ask about a subject and not about an object as in the previous example. How do we change this sentence to the indirect speech? He asked us who was there. We added asked, a reporting verb, us, object of reporting verb, who, WH question word. After who, which is used to ask for subjects, we directly add the verb was. When who is used to ask about the subject, we keep the same word order as direct questions. Sum up for WH questions in indirect speech. Use a statement word order, switch the subject and the verb while changing WH questions to indirect form. The auxiliaries do, does, did are dropped while changing WH questions to indirect speech, and we apply the verb backshift rule, changing the verb to the past. Let's practice. Complete the sentences to change direct questions to indirect statements. Stop the video, write your answers, and then check for the right ones.